Well, a lot to watch tonight
Right.
as this thing looks to be maybe close to getting its act together. Finally.
Yeah, it does. The mid-level low, as I showed you, see it's starting to catch up to the lower level low, and that's meteorological speak for stacking.
I was going to say, I don't know.
And it stacks up, and eventually it gets going. And
Okay.
the shear is going to be less now, it looks like. So the models are picking up on that. Several models are projecting a Category 1 hurricane making landfall late Thursday afternoon up in the Panhandle. So it'll be the first one in a long time, obviously, that we may have experienced here in Florida, the state. I would be remiss if I didn't say also happy birthday, 79th birthday to my mother today. Also, it's her birthday, so a lot of weather going on, so I wanted to make sure I got to that. Casey Key webcam is showing a nice looking, I shouldn't have said 79, she looks more like 50, okay? The Casey Key webcam showing the showers moving on in from the south now. Some of that rain is rather heavy, and it looks like it will continue to be periodically some showers and storms moving through overnight tonight. I think a little bit more intense rain beginning tomorrow late and in through Thursday. It's really difficult to say exactly where this line is going to set up, but look today. Today we had all this rainfall right there near Miami, just streaming northward. It's called training, and it goes for over 100 miles south of that. So we could see that set up right here along the Sun Coast. We'll see how it plays out, but I mentioned earlier the rainfall amounts could be as high as 7 inches in most coastal locations and even some isolated areas up to 10, and that will cause some serious flooding problems. You can see that rain continues to develop into Charlotte Harbor. It's just loaded full of showers now, and boaters beware. It's going to be tough boating conditions for at least the next 3 days as a result of the system out there in the Gulf of Mexico kicking up the waves. Even some more storms building here just to the south and west of Venice. Those are kind of pinwheeling onshore, and then offshore a tremendous amount of rainfall there. What to watch this as it kind of works its way toward Northport and eventually places north into Lakewood Ranch. Not much rain today, but some spreading that way right now near Fruitville and I-75, and we'll look for that rain to continue to move on into Manatee County later on tonight. And as I alluded to, there'll be some breaks occasionally overnight. As far as what we're concerned with most here along the Sun Coast is the fact that we'll get this extreme rainfall. On top of that, isolated tornadoes. I think those are the two biggest problems. And then for the coastal areas, there'll be coastal erosion, also some high surf, and that means rip currents, a big problem for folks that are going to go out there trying to surf these waves, which is not advisable. And we could see the low-end scale of tropical storm force winds here. And that would happen more so on Thursday now. Checking some of the buoys out there, we're getting some winds picking up and the waves are starting to increase. And these waves will eventually generate themselves toward our coast later on tomorrow and especially on Thursday. You saw that one buoy just to the southwest of Port Charlotte, 25-knot wind there. It's up to 30 miles an hour. The wind's now at 35, and it's moving to the northwest at 5. We showed you this earlier. The forecast cone has shifted off to the north, but we advise you not to focus on the cone. This is just for where the center is going to be, not where the rough weather is going to be. And a lot of that rough weather is going to be to the east of that, and that puts us in that mix. Tropical storm watch in the yellow all the way through much of the panhandle of Florida near Tallahassee, and then the red area indicating from Panama City just to the north of Tampa through Pasco County. A hurricane watch is in effect, and that will more than likely switch over to a hurricane warning by midday tomorrow as the system develops, and we think it will. Although it's taken its time, just as you guys said earlier, it's had 9 lives. It's the longest tropical depression I can ever remember tracking, and for that matter. Rainfall forecast is still showing the same thing. The bullseye here along the Sun Coast and also where the center is expected to make landfall throughout the day on Thursday. 84 right now, it's 73 on the dew point, and the humidity at 69%. The high today, 89, finally a day below average because of the increased cloud cover. And no rainfall yet at the airport. That'll change through the night. And temperatures are cooling down. The satellite imagery, we talk about the right side or the dirty side. We're going to look at it. Here's the center right there. And notice there's not much to the left at all. Most of the bad weather is well to the east of the center, right over Florida. So as this tracks off to the north, we're going to continue to see this flow coming up from the tropics, bringing all that warm, moist air. On the backside of this, it gets the north to northwesterly flow and brings the drier, more stable air to the left side of the system. That's the reason why we call it the most active side. And water temperature is extremely warm throughout its path, so it does have a chance to develop into a hurricane. You can see this particular forecast model showing periods of showers and storms moving onshore on Wednesday, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Boating forecast, not the best boating weather, and as I mentioned, showers and storms scattered about on Wednesday. Better chances on Thursday morning, continuing throughout the day on Thursday. Friday starts to taper off a little bit. It will stay breezy all the way through Saturday morning.